everyone. So by the title, you guys know that today I'm going to be talking about certifications. Certifications was actually something that I kind of stumbled upon during my time on Twitter, specifically Black Twitter, and learning more about them as I was in the boot camp. So for me, it's something I wish I had discovered prior to boot camp, just because I feel like with the certifications, and what I mean by certifications, there's Salesforce, there's Microsoft Azure, there's Google Cloud, and I'm specifically referencing cloud certifications. So unlike the boot camp, where it might be 3 months, 6 months, 4 months, depending on the place that you decide to go to, a lot of these certifications you can self-study or buy like a Udemy course. I'll drop below, or not drop below, but I'll put in the description box the one that I'm planning to do, as well as the Udemy course that I'm planning to take. But sometimes I wish I had found out about certifications prior to going to the bootcamp. And the only reason I say that is because for some people, you know, I do enjoy coding. I feel like I say that every video. But if there was a way to kind of step into tech or really decide if I really wanted to code or not, you know, I think going through the certification route is kind of the same route, in the sense that, you know, with the bootcamp, my biggest complaint about the bootcamp has always been that they help you find a job, but a lot of that onus is put on you after the fact for you to pay so much money to go to a bootcamp, and there's not that much support. When it comes to finding a job, it's a lot of like you applying, you studying for coding interviews. Like, these are things you could have done without going to the bootcamp and building your own projects. So for me, and for other people, I feel like there's cheaper ways to go about getting into tech outside of the bootcamp and not having to code. And one of those ways is the certifications. So the certification that I'm choosing to do, which is funny, the company that I will be starting with is asking us to get the certification, so it kind of works out for me, is Salesforce. I want to go into the Salesforce streamline, and I want to eventually become a Salesforce developer, but there are plenty of certifications and routes to take to either become a developer or you could be a systems admin. I'll put in the description the average that the Salesforce system admin makes. The only downside is that you have to it's kind of a tit for tat. Like, they want you to have experience to do the job, but in order to do the job, you need experience. So it's kind of like a tit for tat, but it kind of reminds me of the boot camp. It's a shorter process, and you can study for it by yourself, or you can pay some money to either get a study guide or go through a class, but it's nowhere near the cost of a boot camp. And the reason why I wanted to bring this to you guys is because I feel like some of you who can't afford the bootcamp and you ask me questions about, like, do you think it's worth it? Depending on you personally, may or may not be worth it. But I think this is another great alternative. These certifications are another great alternative to potentially breaking into tech and still deciding if you even need to code. Because the average for Salesforce is pretty high up there. And if you're looking to just jumpstart your career and make some more money and then eventually make more money, I definitely think certifications is definitely a possibility. And I want to really give a shout out to Black Tech Twitter, because I didn't know about certifications prior to joining the bootcamp. And after I discovered it, I was like, maybe I would have went this way. So what I'll do is I will link in the description a few the certification I'm taking. I'll put I will put resources to other certifications in case you're interested. There's a few women on Twitter that I follow. One is Mary. She holds from what I see and what I hear on Twitter, is an awesome boot camp, which she has different boot camps, which are way more affordable than the actual like General Assembly or Flatiron or Codecademy or Appcademy coding boot camps. As well as I'll also link, there's another woman that I follow on Twitter. She has her own website, and she kind of talks about her journey using the certifications, as well as they created she was on a podcast episode where she talks about her journey from like the legal field into tech using certifications. So I will link all those things below. I hope, you know, this helps somebody out. It's something I'm definitely going to look into as well, maybe as either a side, or maybe I'll switch into that completely. But I wanted to present that option for those of you who may not be able to afford the boot camp, or you might be feeling a little like down because you don't have the money or the time or It's not saying it won't take time, because you are going to have to put that work and network to get into Salesforce, maybe through an internship or apprenticeship. I will also let you guys know how my journey is going as well. I'm currently studying for the certification test, and also I'll let you guys know how that goes and update you when I cross my fingers pass it. But in the meantime, I wanted to get that information out to you guys about the actual boot camp, the actual certification route, and for you to look and see if that might be a possibility for you. I'm not so familiar with it, but I'm going through it currently as well. So I'm taking you guys on this new journey for me, on top of like still building projects. And with that being said, another new thing is I launched the Coding Chicas bootcamp with 2 of my bootcamp classmates. Shout out to Jessa and shout out to Edith. And so we launched our first episode. I will link it down below, and we plan on having guests, previous professors, people in different industries, things like that, teaching us, not teaching, but talking to us about the bootcamp experience from a different perspective. It's great to hear it from us, but you know, one of our professors previously, or I keep saying professor, teacher, you know, he's a previous, he did bootcamp, now he's a senior software engineer. So talking about like tips and tricks, and that now that he's at that level, that, you know, might be useful and helpful. So those are things that are coming down the pipeline on top of me. I'm currently moving, so that's why it's like, I don't know if you can see my stuff is all over the place, but you know, I'm currently moving, so that's why I said the videos are not going to be as frequent as they used to be, but I'm trying to still give you guys some content and information in the meantime, so you're not like stagnant. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, a great rest of your life, and hope, like I said, if you have any questions about certifications, or if I can't answer, I can definitely put you into contact with some people that might be able to answer it for you. But with that being said, have a good one.